we are doing posterior chain workout 4. So we're going to start off with a rear delt pull, working on these muscles back here between the shoulder blades. Hold your band. If your tubing's really light, you can double it. This would be too much for me, so I go single. You're going to hold your arms out in front of you and squeeze your shoulder blades together while you pull the band apart. Try to aim for like mid-chest, not up here. The thing is, I want you working on, see my wing scapula, the tip of your shoulder. You should feel it between the tips of your shoulder, and you shouldn't feel it up here in your neck. So again, hands a little wider than the shoulders apart, pull the band apart. The nice thing is you can adjust. If that's too easy, you can go closer. If it's too hard, you can go wider. Pull-ups. So Victor and I had a huge discussion over whether pull-ups should be included in this workout. In the end, he won, and we're including pull-ups because I know not everybody can do pull-ups or have the bar, but he has a really good point. Pull-ups represent, hold on, come here. Tell him why we added pull-ups. Can't see going from behind the camera. Why did we add pull-ups?
Well, quite simply, if this is working well, this works together with it. So generally speaking, I always talk about with a lot of my clients, this left lat and this right cheek are intimately connected. So if we get good action in our pulling muscles, the posterior chain works better as a unit. And if it works better as a unit,
then we'll get to those peaks better,
that's right.
Okay. So on the pull-ups, obviously, there's lots of variations. This is about fit to height. This is not about doing the best pull-ups in the world. This is just getting the lat stronger. There are lots of ways. Victor has his beginner coaching series of workouts for how to learn how to do all the different push-up variations, but are we on the same page? They can go any variation, overhand, underhand, any. He says any is okay. So pull-up, I prefer a wide grip overhand, and then do my pull-ups. If you go to do pull-ups and there's just no way that's happening, you can cheat. You can use one of these awesome bands.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can get into it by putting one foot in the band. You can totally do this off of a bench. It's much easier that way. And then hold onto the bar, sandwich the band between your feet so you don't snap it on your face, and then do your pull-ups. And then when you come off, do so carefully. Okay, so there's your back part of your posterior chain. Now into the legs. Pistol squat, one of my other favorite, you'll see in the next workout, an even more favorite one, but pistol squats can be hard on the knees. They can be really hard to do. Hopefully you did everything leading up to this right, that you're okay to do this, it feels good on the knees. If it doesn't feel good, go back to the beginner workout, we're in intermediate. Go back to the beginner workout and work on your strength. You might be an amazing distance runner or amazing surfer and feel like, oh, I'm advanced. I totally should be in the advanced workout. And then go to do, maybe you don't have the strength training history, or maybe it's just been a while since you've been doing this, or you have injuries. So be smart when you go into this. A pistol squat in general, you're gonna have one leg elevated while you work on squatting down to approximately 90 degrees. Okay, it's fairly low. You don't have to go a lot lower. For hiking, this one's really important, but at the same time, how often on a hike are you going to be descending that low? Not very often, but we do want stability, so there's a lot of times where you are stepping up a big rock or having to descend down one, so we want some knee stability. So one of the best ways is either to use monkey for some support. You can hold it to kind of brace yourself at first and pull on it as you do your pistol squat, really working on what the knee's doing. If you catch your knee going all over the place, don't go so low yet. As you notice, I work out barefoot all the time. I kind of like doing this one barefoot because you can really feel your foot and notice if you're not keeping the weight on all four corners of your foot as you do it. Really make sure you're sitting into the heel. If you don't have the monkey, that's fine too. You can do the same thing using any support. So your pistol squat, if you do your pistol squat right, make sure you're feeling it in your butt, and you're gonna feel it in the muscles around your knee. You just shouldn't feel sharp pain on like your patella tendon. So if you feel a lot of knee pain, back off, call Victor, modify. Okay, single leg deadlift. So we already learned how to Romanian deadlift. And you remember in your Romanian deadlift, we talked about having a nice arch in your lower back so that when you bend your knees and you hinge at the hips, you're keeping good posture, right? Okay, so now we're gonna go a little deeper and more bend in the knee. Big thing though is you're still gonna have an arch in your lower back and you're still gonna be pushing your hips back as you do this. Okay, depending on your build. Again, I should bring Victor and we can like discuss why. I do my single leg deadlift and bring my hands out in front of me lightly. I think it probably has something to do with like the amount of space that I have to work with here, that I can get down fairly easy. I feel it in my quads, I feel it in my glutes. You want me touching the toes. So if Victor usually has people do it so that their hands are coming closer to their toes. Just watch the arch of the back. So if you, regardless of where you put your hands, if your back's rounding to do it, that's wrong. As long as you can maintain a slight arch, good posture through the upper back, and you're driving through the heel, and you feel in your glute, and strengthen your quad and not in your knee, then you're good, right? So you've got, after the pistol squat, those two combos are pretty hard because they're both single leg. Work on controlling the knee, driving through the glute, strong quadriceps.